we all would believe, I want an Italian tile. Now, I know you have Italian influence, you have Italian equipment and innovation and equipment that helps you produce what you do. We've obviously learned a lot from each other. But why has got this Italian tile stigma, which I'm not going to maybe shock a few people. It is certainly not out of Italy. A lot of these, and maybe in the old days it used to work that way, but even the tiles that you would think comes from Italy could be an Eastern product. Why is that perception still there that tiles from Italy is great? Now, if you think about whiskey, sorry for everybody, yeah.
It's early for me to think about it, but I can.
But whiskey, you would traditionally go Irish, Scotland, okay? But whiskey of the year is one out of Japan. Whiskey of the year is one out of South Africa. So that segment has changed slightly, that other people also produce great whiskies. But I think from a tile perspective, we are for the first time pushing it a little bit to say, is it still that segment? I mean, are we still supposed to think that way?
I'm going to answer. I'm glad you touched on the Italian side of it. It's important to understand that our equipment is Italian.
Yeah.
90% of our the important parts of the factory, generally Italian.
Yeah.
We obviously use local construction, roof sheeting, cement, it's generally locally manufactured material. In the past, there was Italian flair. So the Italian flair certainly has a place in the market, certainly does. But globalization has shortened that Italian flair. So in the past, we would go to Italian shows, we'd go to Spanish shows, we'd go and have a look at the product. We'd see the latest punch, profile, textured, glaze, finishes. We'd have a look at it. It's beautiful, nice, really exciting. And we then try to replicate that in South Africa. So what would happen is we'd get the tile sent over to South Africa. We tried to match the designs. We tried to do a lot of the Italian flair in South Africa. Take note what I said earlier on. The Italian flair, the Italian design is not necessarily what us as South Africans want. We want something that suits us. So the Italians did a fantastic job in promoting made in Italy, because they were the leaders when it comes to tile design, style, and fashion. And give it to them. They've done a phenomenal job. They've gone with larger format tiles. They've gone with different profiles, different colored bodies, different structures, different textures. However, with globalization and the internet, that time of importing the product, replicating it in South Africa, that time has reduced to that.
Okay.
So if we get a design, a digital design from Europe to say, this is what it can look like, we can replicate that product in South Africa within a 3-month period. We might not get it to look exactly like the Italian product.
But to the common eye, would never
But to
know.
the common eye, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to make a controversial statement. If you have tiles in your home, the brand equity, and listen carefully what I'm going to say, the brand equity that Italian tiles have on a global basis. If you have tiles in your home and you invite guests in and they walk in and they say, wow, Albert, these tiles are beautiful. Generally, there's 2 responses. Most people in the market do not understand what those 2 responses are. If somebody says to you, these tiles are beautiful, the one response is, thank you. The other response is, thank you, they're Italian. Those are the 2 responses. That's what a great job the Italians have done.
Yes.
Nobody turns around and says, wow, thank you, they are ceramic industries. Wow, they are Samka tiles. Because to the consumer, they say, what does it mean?
Yeah.
So the factory that goes behind that, the machines that are going, the consumers, and we're okay with it.
Yeah.
The consumers really don't care whether they were made in the Samka factory or the Vitro factory or the NCI factory or the Griffin factory or the Pegasus factory or some of our competitors or the Johnson's factory, or they don't care. The consumer just wants to know that they've got a beautiful Italian tile or they've got a beautiful tile. That's the difference.